Hello, this is Fear Dragon coming at you with another StarCraft 2 netcast. Today we have game number 2 from the After Hours Gaming League. It's week number 3 of IBM versus the Google Zerglingers. If you have not seen game number 1, please go ahead and click on the annotation below and it'll take you to that game. But if you're still around, I'm going to assume you have, and we're going to go ahead and jump into the game and introduce the players as we spawn down here in the bottom right-hand side of the map. Heavy Rain. It is the blue Zerg player representing Team IBM, who is currently up 1-0. It is Zai. And his opponent spawning up here in the top left-hand side of the map, Heavy Rain. On top of the red Protoss player representing the Google Zerglingers, it is Zexy. And quite a sexy name, if I do say so myself. Quite a Zexy name, I should say. But yeah, guys, it is currently 1-0 in favor of Team IBM. Right now, the Zerg player definitely feeling pretty good about this, I'm sure, as IBM, one of the really strong teams in the league. And oh, what is this? We have a 10 pool, I think, or 11 pool? I think it was a 10 pool coming out from Zai, and a really weirdly positioned 10 pool. I think that he's expecting the probe to come in this way, come in over here, move around down the bottom side, maybe check around here. Oh, nope, no spawning pool. Where is it? I guess he's going for a hatchery first, and then walk back over here. And he just won't see the spawning pool, which would absolutely be hilarious. But, guys, whoever you're rooting for, definitely go ahead and post in the comments who you actually want to win, because both of these teams working hard to try and get the $5,000 that will be donated to the charity of their choice by winning the After Hours Gaming League to happen. Because IBM actually voting for Youth Changing the World, which is a great charity organization. Google Zerglingers voting for Child's Play, which is another great organization. So whoever you want to receive the money, you should, guys, go support that team. But in the meanwhile, let's take a look at what Zexy is up to from the Google Zerglingers. I mean, he's getting out his first Zealot. Looks everything more or less pretty standard. It looks like Zai is supply blocked. I think that may have just been an extractor trick as he waited for this Overlord to go ahead and pop out. Zai going to be taking an expansion behind this, basically just saying, well, I'm going to try and harass you with these initial 4 Zerglings. They're going to be coming out way earlier than you'd ever expect them to. And you know what? If Zexy had skipped that Zealot and just waited for the Mothership Core and the Stalker, he'd be in a lot of trouble right now. But he did go for that Zealot, and the Zealot is going to be okay. It won't be able to chase down these Zerglings initially, but it'll at least be able to handle them and say, okay, you can't just constantly be harassing my pros. My Zealot will eventually catch up with you, so you have to continuously be moving those Zerglings around to try and stop them from getting whacked away on like that. As now almost every single Zergling is taking a little bit of damage. That means that they will very soon get two-shotted by that Zealot. But more importantly, the Mothership Core and the Stalker are both coming on their way. And those Zerglings, they're going after a probe. They do manage to snag a probe, and wow! Even this little Zergling over here manages to escape with its life. Mothership Core being rallied slightly the wrong way, misses a potential pot shot off, but he does manage to chase after those Zerglings. Zergling's going to go after that Nexus. It looks like he might end up losing a couple of them over here. Mothership Core and the Zealot making short work of those Zerglings, as Zerglings were pretty short anyways, but I guess when you make short work of a Zergling, it happens pretty quickly. Stalker going to come out and finish him off, but with that being said, the game is going to move on, and Zai, already interestingly enough, going for a Spine Crawler. Now that is really weird and early to do at this point in the game. I'm curious what he's planning. Maybe he's planning to go for some really fast teching up. He does have that initial gas geyser up, and is going to start mining off of gas from it. Just 3 guys in gas. So maybe he's saying, well, I'm going to go for some really fast tech, maybe into lair, and you don't want to try and get your second gas geyser too early, which I guess would explain why you didn't grab it just yet, only just now grabbing it, because if you grab your gas geyser too early and you don't have the drones to actually mine from it, well, then awesome, you have a gas geyser and no drones can actually afford to mine from it, because you just can't have any mineral income if you're doing so. So he kind of delays that a little bit, but if he does decide to go for some fast lair tech, the Spine Crawler will really help him defend himself while he does so. And yeah, based on the fact that we have the 3rd gas geyser going down now, I have a feeling we're going to see this 4th gas geyser being taken by Zai from IBM. Going to be looking to do the very fast tech follow-up And what will Zexy do to try and prepare for this? He has no idea what's going on just yet, but he does have this sneaky little proxy pylon on the other side of the map. He could do some sort of aggression, and even actually has another proxy pylon going up, has a mothership core kind of waiting around over here, and look at that sexy game art overlay. Oh man, game art, so awesome. But yeah, I'm kind of curious. Zai actually going for this third expansion and, you know, grabbing that fourth and final gas geyser. The probe going to be coming in over here. Spots out the spine crawler. Does not spot out any of the gas geysers, so that is not going to be much of a tell. I mean, the spine crawler may be a tell to say, okay, you're doing something a little bit fishy here. You normally don't have a spine crawler this early on. Unless you're really trying to play greedy and you're just trying to use the spine crawler to try and stop me from aggressing onto you and killing you before you actually have any defenses. And Zai gonna go ahead and be a little bit offensive with some of these zealots and the mothership core. And actually, there's not a whole lot over here to defend. There's a handful of Zerglings, but these Zerglings don't even have speed research, so they're gonna be ultra slow, but there are a lot of them. The mothership core helping out quite a bit. Time Warp actually going down. Some nice backing up micro coming out from those zealots of Zexy. Zexy looking pretty Zexy, if I do say so myself, as he managed to take out almost all of those Zerglings. Metabolic Booster is going to be finishing up very soon, though. The hatchery is very low. 2 more zealots come to reinforce. The spine crawler trying to burrow, but it's not in range of any of those zealots, and the hatchery is going to fall. And Zexy has successfully done a pretty good bit of aggression. I don't even think that Zexy lost a single zealot during that whole thing. And we can see over here, I believe it's this. Yeah, okay, 1 zealot has been lost so far, and that is very much worth it. 1 zealot for a 3rd expansion. I'd take that any day of the week and twice on Sunday, but oh, these Zerglings, they do not want to let these zealots out without a bit of a fight, but another time warp does go down. Interestingly enough, I don't actually feel like Zai doesn't want to engage that. I mean, that's still quite a few zealots over there that you do not want to engage. The main thing that Zai wants to do is make use of those extra gas geysers that he had grabbed much earlier on. Those 4 gas geysers are going to allow him to get up that Spire tech, as well as get out a handful of Mutals. Now, the Spire is going to be finishing up very soon, and he already has a lot of minerals and gas banked up and ready to just pump out as many Mutals as possible. He's retaking that 3rd as well. So we're going to see potentially 12 or 13 Mutals pop out almost immediately once that Spire finishes up. And Zexy's going to have to come up with some sort of defense for this. Because look at this. This is Zexy's army. I don't know if you guys know this, but those Psyblades, I mean, those are not throwing Psyblades. This is not D&D, and these are not rogues. Those are melee Psyblades. You cannot throw them. They're not aerodynamic enough to hit Mutalists. And that means that those Mutalists are going to go pretty much uncontested, except for the Mothership Core Overcharge. But wait! We've already seen 2 Time Warps being thrown down, so this Mothership Core has no energy to actually throw down those Photon Overcharges against those Mutals. You may have enough for 1, or I should say, Mothership Core She. I'm so sorry, Mothership Core. How could I call you a he? But it's still gonna not be enough, because as soon as one of those gets thrown down, hey, just dart those Mutals over to natural expansion, and boom! You just basically get free pickings, maybe on a couple of those sentries. Sentries actually do pretty well against Mutals, though, surprisingly enough. But oh no, the Mothership Core actually going to get taken out by the Mutals. That is actually probably the worst possible situation that Zexy could have asked for, but a lot of those warp gates have finished up now, so he could warp in a big round of Stalkers, but just does not seem to be doing so just quite yet. The probes getting taken out en masse. Where are those sentries? The sentries need to come. Oh no, he was actually moving out with these Immortals with the sentries. He was going for an Immortal sentry timing push. But the probe's actually just getting pulled. He says, to hell with it. I'm not going to be able to mine with those Mutals in my main base. And now we end up seeing Zerglings getting right on top of those Stalkers. Oh no, you want those Zealots leading the charge over there. The Sentries with the Guardian Shield. Going to help out a lot against those Glaive Worm Mutals bounce. But it's still going to be a little bit difficult. The Immortals are going to be so important. He's going to need those Immortals to deal with things like these Spine Crawlers and be able to take out any potential Roaches. I mean, 10 more Spine Crawlers in the production tab. He definitely needs to keep those Immortals alive, but now with all the Sentries taken out, these Mutals are going to reign supreme from above. It is only Immortals, only Zealots, only Probes from the skies, I should say. They're able to deal with those units from the sky, and GG does get called. And that is going to put an end to that, as now we end up seeing IBM taking game number 2, 1 game away from taking this best of 5 series. Will they be able to close out the series, or will the Google Zerglingers be able to make the comeback? How many more blue splatters like this will we see in our time? We'll have to wait and find out as we jump into game number 3. The link is down below somewhere on the screen. Maybe it's up above. Maybe it's on the right-hand side. Maybe it's just in the center. But I will see you guys in game number 3 to find out who is going to win this game.